Well, welcome back to the Timeline Ranch. It's morning. The sun has just come over the mountains. I'll show you what I'm up to today. So I got up early this morning and took the flue apart so that I could put the mounting brackets back on the shelves. Now that that tile adhesive set up real good, I cleaned that hole out that I drilled for the anchor. Put tile adhesive in there, then put the plastic anchor back in and let it set up real good. So they locked it in. It's real solid now. I'm not worried about putting the bracket completely together right now. I still got to take it apart quite a few times. I'll probably loosely fit it on there. I did that upstairs as well. I got this one on good and solid too. Not going anywhere. Yeah, if it was a bigger house, I could have moved the stove out so I could have had full-size shelves like that on all of them. That would have been nice, but it's a tiny house, so you got to deal with the inconveniences of not being able to do larger ideas. Yeah, it's going to look real nice when I get that grout in there and get the caulking around the shelf and down the bead molding here. It'll look real good. It'll look clean. Let's go outside and take a look at the main task today. So this is what I have left of that limestone that I cut out of those window sills, which is plenty to finish out. I really only need maybe 4.5 pieces. So I figured that pretty close. And I still have a few pieces over there that needed a little more grinding to get them down to the right thickness. I'm going to clean this mess up today, but that's not the main thing. So the main thing today is to get the Kubota back up in action after the issue it had. So I don't know if it looks like it to y'all, but this is about $3,000 of excavator tracks. And these are not the Kubota brand one. That would have been around $6,000. And I like good parts, but I also like $3,000. I'm going to keep the machine about 2 more years. On average, what I've found over the past 30 years of running equipment and seeing equipment break down and talking to other people, and it seems about 10 years is about as long as you want to keep them before you're going to start having some, big ticket items, engine problems, hydraulic pumps going out, hydraulic hoses blowing left and right, that type of stuff. Yeah, you have a note when you get a new machine, but you also have a warranty and usually an insurance policy you can get through the dealership along with it. I've also got my trailer tire situation cleaned up, got 2 new rims. That one was leaking on the weld bead again. This one's solid, there's no weld bead for it to leak on. And I even got the old Subaru tire. They pulled it, cleaned the bead, and reseated it. So the Subaru will have 4 tires that hold air without me having to put air in it every couple days. So after I get the tracks back on the machine, which is supposed to be a really nice day to do that, it's supposed to get up to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see it's a little chilly this morning. Got a little bit of ice on the pond. I'm going to come over here and clean all this rock up that I broke loose with the frost ripper a while back. These are pretty good. I know they don't look like it in the video, but these are pretty good sized rocks in here. So I'm going to just drag it up on this little shelf area I still have left and put it in a pile. You know, clean up this lower area because this is going to be underwater next time the pond fills up all the way. This will be holding, you know, about 3 feet of water on it, which is quite a bit of extra water in the pond. But I'm going to get it up there and then haul it up on the road. And we'll see where we're at for the day. That'll probably actually be the day. I don't know how long it's going to take to get the tracks on. Guess it's about time to get to work. Maybe it's the kid in me, but I always like to throw a rock in the ice. Now, one of these times when I'm out here, it's going to freeze enough that I'll be able to walk on it. That'll be interesting. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Well, time to get to work. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to use the bucket to push the idler back, which will force the grease that keeps the tension on the track. If you don't push it back, you'll never get the track on there. Where you fill the grease up is right inside this little pocket here. You got to take that all the way out because that grease is going to come out of there when I put some pressure on this idler to push it back. It pushed a big old blob of grease out. It's usually about a tube to fill this thing back up. So I'm gonna get some paper towels and clean this mess up before it gets all over everything and in the environment here. I think I got it close enough where I can get I got a big pry bar, and I'm trying to get this sprocket to seat in there. You always want this side first and then the idler last. So if I get this side in there, then I could set it down on this side and just pivot on that front corner over there to swing that other end in. Yeah, it's hard to manhandle these tracks. They're just so cumbersome and heavy, especially by yourself. But I think what I'm doing here is going to work. Yeah, I think I can make that work. Let me pick the boom back up and spin it around to catch that corner, the front corner with the idler. It looks like I got the back sprocket in there all the way enough that I'm not worried about popping out. So what I'm going to do now is hook a choker to the front blade of the machine and pull that way on the track to give it make it open up enough to swing the idler in. Alright, so I have it blocked up. I've got the strap attached to the front bucket, that ball that's on the bucket. I'm going to try to pull the track kind of at a 45-degree angle from the idler. Let's see if I can get it on there. The back sprocket's on the top, but it's not on the bottom now because the tracks are sagging. What I'm going to try now is I'm going to set it all the way down, take the blocks out from underneath it, and that'll push all that slack that's in that track up against the rollers. And I'm hoping if I back up just a tiny bit, it'll give me some play in the front to pop that idler on there. Let's see. Man, it is so close. Yeah, it looked like if I tried a little bit longer, it might pop on there. I got it this way one time. Success. So I'm going to set it all the way down, go ahead and put the tension back on that track, and then take the other old one off, put the new one on. So it's a 3/4 socket that fits that grease insert. I'm going to screw it back in there and tighten the tracks back up. Should be. You want, when you raise it up, you raise the track off the ground with the boom a little bit. You want a 1/2 inch between the roller and the track. And there's a mark on this thing in the center. There's 2 circles that line the track up. I'll have to find them when I go to get it completely tensioned right. Alright, so I'm going to spin it and try to find that center point where those 2 circles are to line it up. You're supposed to line that on that top roller. No, it doesn't look like there's not a centering mark on this one. get your measurement. Call it a day on it. It's pretty close already. Gotta put a few more just to be on the safe side. Man, I made it look easy that time. Yeah, that's the trick. Get that back sprocket in there and then kind of walk it to make the front part of the track go towards the idler, and then set the track all the way down almost on the ground so it takes that slack out of it, and muscle it on there with a pry bar. It's on there, just gotta grease it back up and be ready to move some rock. I'm up here on this little road that goes north towards that high ridge where I used to make my phone calls a long time ago. I'm going to go ahead and throw the spoils that I had piled up here when the machine was working last. I need to widen, I don't know if you caught the other video, I need to widen this out, the road, enough to build a little bit of a dirt berm, and then I'll stack rock on top of that. Because you can't dig through this, it's all rock, just solid rock underneath right there. I mean, there's no way to dig a little bar ditch to hold water. It's really like a swell is what it is, but I'm calling it a bar ditch. It will drain if it reaches a certain level down into the pond, but a lot of the water that's in it is going to soak in. It should green it up on this side of the road and on the downhill side of the road, but I need to make it wide enough where I could still, you know, pull the truck over here comfortably. Down here in the pond, I'm going to go ahead and throw all this rock right there where that other rock pile is, or I'll pile it up right there and then start hauling it. I don't know if I'll get it, how much I'll get hauled off today. It's quite a bit of rock. Quite a bit of rock. This is probably, from where I'm sitting to the edge of the rock over there, is at least 50 feet. And it's probably about 2.5 feet down that I can dig out that I broke loose with the frost ripper. This frost ripper right here. But let's get started. I was kind of holding off on digging this out because I didn't know exactly where that 25-foot radius is going to be. In this area up here that's going to have the, you know, some fruit trees, a little picnic table. I think it'll be a nice little area beside the pond. But I needed to dig that shelf back so that I can establish the edge of the radius, because all the rest of this is going down, you know, deep, 25 feet if I can get there, which I think I can if I just keep tearing it out with the frost ripper and come back in and pull it out a little at a time. I'll get there. So what I'm going to do, I'm dragging all this material, I'm dragging it and throwing it as far behind me as I can reach. and then I'll get up on top of that pile of material and throw it back until I can get it, you know, up on that high shelf. I can't back the trailer, you know, in here too far because it's too steep. I can load it, and then I won't be able to, you know, get any traction to get out of there. I'll just be tearing my tires up. Looks like today I probably got enough time to get this rock out of here. That's probably about it. I'll be happy to see that though. Got a good little chunk of it up. Further back, I'm gonna get on the top of this pile right here and start throwing it behind me, and then I'll get back down in there and pull that other side. It's a little less than half, I'd say a third of what I needed to pull. I need to dig my frost ripper out of there. It's somewhere right in there before I forget about it. I'll find it though, you know, because I have to transfer the dirt back. It'll pop up, but let me get it now while I'm thinking about it. This direction, and then I'm going to transfer that pile back a little further and then pull the pile that's down in here up there where that pile's at. That's probably going to be it for the day. Let's see if I can get it done. Judging by where the sun is, we've got about 3 more hours before it goes behind the mountain. And then about an hour after that, it's dark. Well, definitely took a good chunk out of the pond today. Yeah, it's a good bit. Well, that's probably how I'm gonna have to dig this thing. Go in there with the frost ripper, tear out about 2.5 foot down, and then go back in with the bucket and pull it out just like that. A lot of time I'll get down there. I'm thinking I might, after I sort and haul all this is quite a bit. It's definitely going to take me a day to haul this all off. Got to sort it too. It's probably 50% rock. It's probably more than that if you include the little rocks, but I just can call the big rocks the rock. Yeah, it's going to hold water, you know, when the pond fills up. It's 10 inches higher than that level shelf there. So that's quite a bit of water I added to it right there. I'd like to do a sample dig and see how deep I can get, you know, through the rock. It may turn to solid rock where I can't get through it. As long as it's these layers like that, I can keep breaking them out and go with it. Yeah, I was wanting to dig, you know, the last time I was out here with the machine, from that point down is 11 feet deep right there now, all the way across. So that will hold water, you know, all year. I'd like to do the same thing on this little section here, because that's the last tree right there where that brush is from cutting that honey mesquite, trimming it into a tree. Well, the sun has gone behind the mountain. That means my day out here is over. I've I've got a few things I'm going to do in the building, so I'll get to doing those. I'll see you on the next one.